Good afternoon. Grace and peace to you from our Lord Jesus Christ and all the saints here in Central California. And I'm sorry about the shades. I just walked across the parking lot and it is bright outside. For the two of you that were waiting this morning for my 4 a.m. video release, I'm sorry. I didn't get around to it last week. So even though this is Thanksgiving week, I'm going to try to do 2 videos this week. So this one today, which is the one that should have come out yesterday and didn't, and then I'll do another one that kind of sums up the week. And maybe talk about Thanksgiving a little bit too. So anyway, I'm going to tell you a little story about being on call. So last week I was on call for 2 days for my boss. She did the whole week except for the 2 days that she was going to be on the plane traveling to India. So nice quiet weekend, and then Saturday night I get a call. I get a call about these 2 things that are down there that you probably can't see. I'll get up close to them in just a second. What these 2 things do is, actually there's 3 of them, but only 2 of them are in use. What they do is, see, we got these cables here which plug into it. It looks a lot like a hub. It's not a hub. It's a they call this a deck terminal server. Some of you OG network guys will remember DEC VAX and the terminal servers that they used. Well, our medical records provider Cerner repurposed them and used them just to basically aggregate serial ports and get test results from the lab machines out there, because they transmit all the results over serial ports. So they're all plugged into here, and then we got a network cable that comes off of it that it's kind of weird. They actually aggregate all these results and send them over the internet to their cloud service, and they gather in all the results from there. So anyway, I got a call saying, hey, lab results aren't flowing into Cerner. Labs called and complained about it. Now, normally what we do is we reboot these devices. There's no power button, no reset button. You just have to pull the plug. Our help desk knows how to do this. The lab personnel know how to do this. And so they'll come out here and they'll pull the plug, and they know to count to 10 and then put the plug back in. So they did that. Lab results still weren't flowing into Cerner. So I guess they did it a couple of times, and then they called the help desk back. Well, this gentleman on the help desk, to get the lab off of his back, he decides to call me. He says, hey, lab results aren't flowing into Cerner. Like, okay. Did you reboot the terminal service? Yes, we did that twice. Okay, well that's all I would know to do, because I mean, I don't have anything to do with Cerner, and I don't know how the lab workflow works. That's what the lab people are supposed to know. So that's all I would do if somebody called me, is I would reboot this machine. I said, well, your next step is to call Cerner. He goes, well, we already did that. To which I said, okay, well then what do you expect me to do? And help desk guy says, well, the lab wants somebody from IT to call them back. Dude, you're in IT, call them back. Said, all right, fine, I'll call them back, because now I'm getting paid overtime for this. So, all right, they want me to waste overtime on this, I'll do that. So I call the lab people back, and he says, yeah, lab results aren't flowing into Cerner. I said, well, I mean, I can try to reboot it one more time to see if that does it. He goes, okay. So now I've got there's a little box here. Let's see if you can see it somewhere. Kind of hard to see in my messy cables. This little box up here, a little light flashing in there somewhere. That's basically got these 2 devices plugged into it, and it's a power strip that you can get into with a web browser. So I got into there and I told it, okay, remove power from that, and then it'll count to 6, and then it'll reapply power automatically. All I have to do is click one little web button, and it does it. So I did that, and I called him back. I said, like 15 minutes later. I said, okay, is it any better? Nope, still not working. I said, well, you're going to have to call Cerner. He goes, well, am I going to do that or are you going to do that? I said, well, I don't know anything about your workflow, so you're going to do that. He goes, well, they told me they already put in a ticket. Okay, then you're going to have to call Cerner back and ask him for a status update. So that was at, I don't know, about 6:30 in the evening Saturday. He says, okay, we'll call Cerner. Good, you do that, because there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can help with. I mean, he's already at work, already getting paid. I'm on call, I'm at home. For me to call Cerner, they're going to be paying me overtime to do that. Him, they're just going to be paying him because he's already at work. So, I mean, I guess I could have done it and just milked the overtime, but that's not who I am. It's a waste of money. You know, they're going to have to pay me a lot of money to babysit, basically, when these guys are at work and they can babysit. And I want my evening. So, okay, fine. I didn't hear from them all evening long until about 12:30, 12:45 in the morning that night. And then I get another call from the help desk. Hey, those results still aren't flown into Cerner. Is there a spare? Is there a spare? He'd already come over and unplugged it. And let's see, is there a spare? We got one, we got two, we got three of these things. Yeah, there's a spare. Because, well, could we use one of those? You know, because they think there's something wrong with the production terminal server. Yeah, you can use one of those. Go right ahead. They're not mine. They belong to Cerner. He goes, okay, thanks. Hangs up. Woke me up at 12:30 at night to ask me a stupid question. Yes, you can use them. You have my permission. Go forth. So that's fine. Finally, go back to sleep at about 1 o'clock, maybe 2, I'm not sure. It takes me a long time to get back to sleep when they wake me up in the middle of the night. I get a call at 4:30 in the morning. Cerner wants to talk to somebody about, they have a question about the network. Well, just, what's their question? Tell me, what's the question? Something about the network. So you don't know what the question is. No. They want you to get on a call. Okay, I get on a call. They're calling the network guy to get on a call. You see where this is going? You OG network guys are going to see where this is going. So I get on a call. And he says, hey, we're not getting any results from you. I said, well, my entire network is up. The connection to Cerner is up. And this is where I actually did learn that night. I didn't know this before. We have a WAN circuit that goes between us and Cerner back in Kansas City. I thought everything flows over that WAN circuit. Everything does. But not the results from those things. As I said earlier in the video, they get sent up to the cloud over the internet. Didn't know that at the time. So they're sitting there telling me, we think the network's down. So what makes you think the network's down? Well, we checked the logs on the terminal server and it's saying that the results aren't going through. It's not getting a response. How are you checking those results? Oh, I can SSH into it. You can? Wow. Well, that sounds like the network's up to me. He says, no, and that's when they explained to me it goes over the internet. Oh, okay. He goes, so we think your internet may be down. Really? Well, I just VPN'd in with a remote access VPN. I think it's up. Well, can you check to see if your internet's up? I said, dude, first of all, I don't need to check to see if my internet's up, but to humor you, I will. Yep, it's up. Huh. Okay, has your internet-facing IP changed? No. I explained to him, look, I'm the only network guy here right now. I am not making any changes. Zero, zip, nada. I'm shaking this phone a lot, so I don't want to make you guys seasick. I'm gonna brace my arm here, like that. There we go. So, no, we haven't changed our network IP in over 10 years. So he's like, okay. And then this is their network guy talking. He goes, because I'm not seeing the results come across. I said, okay, well, hang on. So I got on the firewall. I said, okay, here's the source IP. Do you know what the destination IP is it's going to? And oddly enough, this is why it was confusing me. It's going to a 10 dot something IP address. And that goes out over the internet. And there's like a 10 dot something IP address that they have out on the internet. And I thought, well, that's weird. I'd never do that, but okay, whatever. So I looked in the firewall and I filtered on the source IP of this thing and the destination IP of the 10 dot whatever. And I showed him. I said, look, somebody's been sending constant pings, which are being denied by you, because I'm not denying them. And I'm seeing TCP fin on all the traffic going through the firewall from this thing to your thing. And he's like, well, I'm not seeing anything come in. I said, well, here, let me grab the screenshot. This is like right about 5 a.m. Actually, closer to 5:30. So I grabbed the screenshot and I posted in the chat, sent it to them. It's like, huh, well, that's weird. Why am I not seeing you guys come through? And I said, I don't know. What kind of firewall do you have? He says, Palo Alto. I said, well, that's what I have. Have you refreshed the display? Yeah, I've been refreshing the display. Are you using Panorama to manage those firewalls? Well, yeah, we have a lot of firewalls, so we use Panorama to manage them. I said, well, you know, if you guys use Palo Alto out there, you'll know. If you don't, you won't know what I'm talking about. And just press the I believe button. I said, well, jump onto your firewall itself and check. Because you can do that. You can go directly to the firewall and check the logs. And he says, well, wait, let me refresh Panorama one more time. He refreshes it, and then like 20 minutes worth of data shows up. Boom. He goes, oh, there it is. Yeah, you're getting through. I said, I know. That's what my firewall's telling me. And then finally, he says, okay, the server team is on the call too. There's like 20 people on this call. And me and the network guy were the only ones talking. He says, okay, yeah, well, the network's up. It's working. There's no problems with the network. He's sending data and we're receiving it. And the server guys are like, oh, huh. Well, then how come we're not seeing it? And I said, I don't know. Maybe check the server that's supposed to be receiving it. They didn't know which server it was, the server team. Sorry, dude, I'm just a lowly customer. I don't know about all this fancy Cerner stuff. I'm just a lowly network admin at a podunk hospital out on the West Coast somewhere. And so they said, okay, well, And then their network administrator says, well, Mr. San Joaquin General Network Administrator, I don't think they need us anymore. And I said, oh, good. I don't think they do either. Thank you. And so he says, well, we're going to drop off the call, guys. Good luck. So I killed it. I finally went back to sleep. I think maybe, no, I never even went back to sleep. I couldn't go back to sleep. I went out on the couch and watched YouTube. So later on in the day, after my wife had woken up and no, I'm sorry. So that was a Sunday. When was that happening? Yeah, that was a Sunday morning. So later on, if she'd waken up and we went to church and all that, and I got back home from church, and I said, well, let's see how the battle is going. I shouldn't have checked, but I decided to check. Pulled open my email, and like an hour after we finished that call, it says, problem resolved. Results are now flowing into Cerner. That's interesting. So I didn't want to look at it anymore that day. I said, okay, Sunday, it's the Lord's Day. I want to worship God. I want to Soli Deo Gloria. God alone be the glory today. I didn't want to do any more work. So, and I wanted to thank Jesus for saving me. Anyway, so we had a good day Sunday, and then finally I get back to work on Monday. And there was nothing in the emails to talk about what happened. I'm going to go on to Cerner's help desk ticket portal and see what they did. And lo and behold, I go in there, and it says there was a service that was hung. They restarted the service, and results started flowing in. They took almost 24 hours to find a hung service, and they were trying to blame everything but the server. So, okay, network admins, we're lawyers. Once again, all together, My client is not guilty. I love saying that. My other favorite saying is, so they rebooted the server and fixed the network problem. I love that. And and also to the gentleman that sent in the line from the network admin credo. I love that. I'm going to have a T-shirt made of that too, which says, "No one knows what I do until I don't do it." That's perfect. I love that. So anyway, sorry this video was late, guys, but I did want to put something out. And yeah, you can tease me mercilessly about this messy network closet. Yes, it's the result of a messy mind, and it's a lot of that is stuff that's hanging down. Is because it goes to various and sundry patch panels up there, and it goes down to this terminal server down here. And you know, I didn't have cables of the exact length, but yeah, I really should bundle and tie wrap those together. And actually, what I think I'm going to do is label most of them. Look like they have labels on both ends, but I'm gonna label both ends anyway, just to be sure, in case they get unplugged. And then I'll bundle them all together. And I will also save my fiber from a fate worse than death. It looks like somebody's wrapped it up pretty good. So luckily we have redundant fibers. I can pull one out and fix them. So anyway, that's all I got for this week. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with me this long through the video. This is Thanksgiving week here in the United States, so don't forget to thank God for all your blessings. Everybody keep praying for one another. Keep thanking Jesus for saving us and for loving us enough to come down here to tell us plainly what is it God wants. Because apparently telling us and then giving us written commandments and then sending prophets and teachers was not enough. We actually need Him to come down and tell us what He wanted us to do. So thank God for that too. So at any rate, and if I lost a few subscribers because of Jesus, that's awesome. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, click the subscribe button. Click the notification bell if you want to know when I post more of this silliness. And thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you think. And yeah, like I said, keep praying for each other. Keep praying for Sam. Keep praying for Sir Speedy. Speedy something. Sorry, dude. I am really rotten with names, especially when they're handles and not names. But his wife is going in for surgery in December, so please keep praying for that gentleman. And it's spooky when your wife goes in for surgery, because they are our helpmates. We need our wives. We should thank God for our wives every second of every day. So, all right, guys, that's it. God bless, and we'll see y'all later in the week. So, see ya.